Okay, so I want to go over the trade I took today and the trade I missed today. Um, in hindsight, I missed the first trade. I didn't actually miss it in live time. I watched it go. I, uh, I just didn't want to pull the trigger on it. Um, I have to go into why didn't I want to pull the trigger on this again. Um, this is the first trade from this morning. Oh, right. The reason I didn't want to pull the trigger on this one. So, first things first. If you go to the daily time frame, we are just in a range at this point. Like price really doesn't know what it wants to do longer term. I mean, realistically, we'll go higher longer term, just because um, the money printer goes burr. But you know, right now it looks a little indecisive, and it is because Trump is doing Trump things, and the market really doesn't know how to respond as of yet. But like I said, long term we actually will end up higher. But right now it is ranging, so the daily doesn't give us too much. Go to the 4 hour. This morning for the initial trade that I quote unquote missed. Um, we had this 4 hour fair value gap that we were respecting, so that was my higher time frame PD array for this first trade. And the target for this first trade was this high here. And the reason I didn't love this trade and the reason I didn't take it is because the sweep that we had, you can barely see it on the 15-minute, right? There's a little sweep right here of this candlestick's low, and then it starts to rocket higher. The 5 minute is where you really see the sweep, but we left a lot of liquidity behind, so I didn't really love this sweep enough to take the trade. But obviously it played out nicely. We were barely in any drawdown after the distribution higher, the break of structure. This was the first fair value gap we were able to enter in off of, and so we virtually had zero drawdown, and then it ripped to our take profit. Again, didn't take this trade because the sweep itself was kind of lackluster. The distribution was really nice. Very powerful move. Right, it was showing us it really did want to go higher, which is something to take note of. And this is something that I am journaling right now and making sure that I don't forget about, because I want to get a better sense of, if this does happen again, which I'm sure something like this will happen again. It's never exactly the same, but there are definitely patterns that play out over and over. And this, right here, if the opportunity presents itself again, I'm going to I want to make sure that I'm ready for it. And this sweep here I didn't love, but the distribution, you could say, made up for it, I guess. Really showed where price wanted to go at that point. And so yeah, that was the initial trade that I just missed, or chose not to take, I should say. I mean, I was well aware of the trade itself. I could have demo traded it, but I just didn't. But yeah. Then this second trade here, ignore this. I never took this this year. Basically what we had was we had left a high after this run up from this morning, came down, retraced, started to respect a 1 hour fair value gap here, right? So I had my higher time frame PD array. I still think these equal highs are going to get taken. I mean, then I would bet a lot of money on it. But I don't want to get involved with it right now because it's so late in the day and we're kind of consolidating right now and being choppy. But essentially, I was targeting this high. Again, higher time frame PD array was a 1 hour fair value gap. We're also respecting a 15-minute fair value gap off the retrace. And the sweep was two things. So this sweep right here, right, we swept these lows. Okay, cool. And then also on the 1 minute, we swept liquidity here and distributed nicely. So then I got in off of that distribution right here for 1 to 1.4 to target that high that I mentioned before. And you can see literally like 1 point. I don't even know. Is it 1 point a drawdown? Yeah, literally 1 point a drawdown. And then we ripped to here, and then that is when I put my stop to break even, and you could see that is where we ended up hitting stop at break even. So today was just a break even day. I had 3 contracts on this trade, but because it's a 1 to 1.4, my rule typically is if it's anything less than a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward, I will put my stop to break even and keep all the contracts that I have, because you're really limiting the potential reward if you manage your trade by taking partials on anything less than a 1 to 1.5, in my opinion. So that's why I do that. So again, that's why instead of taking like one of the 3 contracts off here and keeping my stop where it was, I decided to keep all 3 contracts, move my stop to break even, and we got stopped out at break even. This trade, again, don't bother with it. I have no idea. Well, number one, what I was looking for initially was, okay, it stopped me out, but we did a nice job of sweeping liquidity and entering into a 5-minute fair value gap and a 15-minute fair value gap. And I was hoping that price would shoot up, inverse this, tap into the inverse fair value gap, and then continue higher, and that would have been my entry. But then we got this crazy candle, like genuinely ridiculous candle. I don't know what the cause of that was, like, but that's not your average 1 minute candle. Like, that's a news candle almost, or like a 9:30 open candle, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. That was a crazy candle. So not sure what the cause of that was, but yeah, then, so this, again, not a trade. I'll show my executions for this trade. Not that it matters. Again, it was a break-even trade, but if it'll allow me. Last time it didn't allow me. I don't know why OBS was being weird. But let me see if I could. Yeah, OBS is being weird. I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh wait, no, because that's a trading view. Hang on. Wait, which one is it? It's it's not that. I don't know why it's not letting me show it. I really don't. It's not coming up, but I think it's this, but I don't know. It's not letting me show it. All right. Either way, yeah, it was break even. So that's the trade, and yeah.